What's up, guys? Welcome to the vlog. First of all, I just want to apologize. I know I did do a video last week. I did edit it and I did upload it. What happened was that with YouTube's new feature where you can just set your default description that you want for your links and stuff, it'll automatically add it to your YouTube video, and then you can upload the video and you can literally close the YouTube browser down and you'll get an email when your video is live. Fortunately, last week when I did the video, that's exactly what I did. I set my presets, I set it to upload, and I went out because I was in a rush. I needed to go out somewhere. I got the email saying that it was live, so I was like, okay, cool. A couple of days later, I went in to go check how the video was doing. Like I do with all my videos, I go and see how many people have viewed it, how many people have given it a thumbs up, if there's new subscribers and so on. Only to find that the video hadn't been uploaded. There was an error on the video saying that it was something happened and YouTube wasn't able to convert it to, sorry guys, YouTube wasn't able to convert it to the default format, which is .flv. For some reason, I don't know why, I've never had an issue with that before. So I figured, well, okay, I'll just delete the video. I do have it, but I've got the unedited version. I thought I'm not gonna re-upload it and do all that again. Basically, what I covered in that video was a new website that had come out that releases rubber bands, and I'll show you now. Just give me 1 second. They give you, I don't give you rubber bands, they give you rubber bracelets like this here, right? I don't know if you can see that. This isn't obviously one of them. This is a multicolored one. I don't know if you'll be able to pick this up on cam. I'm not, by no means, I'm not advertising this. This is, let's see if you can pick that up. helpforheroes.org. Sorry, my finger's covering it there. Sorry, there we go. But UK. Right on the back here. On the other side here, it's got Help for Heroes. I don't know if you can see that. Start this side. Help for Heroes. So it's a British organization for British soldiers to raise funds to help them when they get injured during the war and wherever that might be. Anyway, that's for another video. The reason why I brought this up was because last week's video I covered. There's this couple that have come up with a unique idea to produce these. You get these in various different colors, and it's called My Single Bands. And I think it's written on the band here, my Single or something. I don't know. It's a quick way to how can I put it? Identify if somebody is single or if somebody is not single, put it that way. So basically what happens is you wear the band if you're single. There's a specific color for if you're single. There's another specific color if you're not. So what happens is you wear it, and if you're sitting on the train or on the bus and you see somebody sitting there and you fancy them, if they're wearing a band saying that they're not single like this on their wrist, then you know, okay, don't even bother approaching them, don't even embarrass yourself or whatever it is. But if they are wearing a band that says they are single, then you can take a chance. You can go and talk to them, you can go and see if you make a connection with them and so forth. Yeah, and then what I also covered was we've had a major issue with truck accidents, 18-wheel trucks. There was an accident last week Friday night, sorry, where basically a truck was coming down a hill, the brakes failed, it plowed through the intersection and it knocked out 3 taxis and 2 cars. There was about 22 fatalities in that accident. It was absolutely horrific. Yeah, I was going to include that. I've got a dash cam in my car. I was able to pick up the actual accident, and I was going to include that video within that video. Unfortunately, I had the issue with the whole uploading and whatnot. So now that was a quick update on what I covered in last week's video. And now to this week's video. Last week, Tuesday, September 10th, Apple had the annual keynote where they announced new products. And in this one, they announced the new iOS 7, the new iPhone 5S, the new iPhone 5C, new iTunes radio, which I don't really get because iTunes comes with radio anyway. It always has. I don't see where the benefit, how that's a new product launch from Apple. Anyway, they did release the 5S and they did release the 5C. Sorry. So what's happened is that the 5S comes with a whole new A7 processor. The original R5 only came with an A6. This R5S comes with the A7. It is slightly bigger. I think it's 4.5 inches now on the screen, whereas the 5 was 4. The iPhone 5 had a 4-inch screen, and now the 5S has a 4.5, I think, something like that. It comes in 5 colors. Sorry, it comes in let's see, it comes in silver, what they call space gray. I know you get space black, which is black, space gray. Okay, whichever. Space gray, and you do get it in gold. Although the gold is more of a like a champagne color. It's not more of like an actual gold color. It's more of a champagne color. Yeah, so that was the 5S. It comes with a better camera, better front-facing camera. The 5C they announced. The 5C also comes in 4 different colors. It comes in the traditional white and black. You can also get it in yellow, blue, green, and pink. iOS 7 is also rumored to be launched on both those devices, the 5S and the 5C, which will be nice. The other thing is iTunes they've released the radio option. Now I went into iTunes, I actually downloaded it last night, and honestly I don't see a difference. The radio functionality within iTunes is exactly the same as it was in previous versions of iTunes. I don't really see what the big difference is with that. Nonetheless, I could care less about the iTunes radio. All I want is to be able to sync my music, pictures, all that kind of stuff, backup to software updates, all that. One of the big disappointments that I found, and you'll know that if you saw my video this time last year, I managed to get my hands on a copy of the keynote, which was held in Cupertino, California. It was held there as well again this year in Cupertino, California. That's where Apple's headquarters are. If you watched last year's video of mine, I actually got a copy of it and uploaded it onto my channel for you guys to watch. Unfortunately, this year Apple didn't do a live stream of the keynote. I don't know why. I did, however, find out subsequently while I was watching the keynote that Apple was only doing a live stream to the Asian countries. China, Beijing, Hong Kong, Japan. I don't know why. I think it's got something to do with trying to cement their new relationship with Samsung. Samsung, if you didn't know, Samsung's building, or Samsung provides a lot of the technology that's ironically that's in the iPhone. The CPU comes from Samsung. I think the graphics processor comes from Samsung. The memory, the storage, yeah. So I had to watch it on CNET, which was a little bit irritating because there was actual no live feed. You saw the 3 presenters sitting there, and they would just give, they would have a presenter of their own that was invited to the actual keynote, and he would relay pictures and messages to the CNET headquarters, who would in turn relay those pictures and the updates to us who was watching the video on their website. That is a little bit disappointing from Apple's side that I felt that they let the customers down. I like to watch the keynote live. Fortunately, they didn't have a live stream. Didn't even have a live stream to the US. Was only to the Asian countries that I mentioned. It was a little bit disappointing, but anyway, what can you do? Yeah, I think that's about does it for the iPhone 5C and the 5S. One more thing. Sorry, I almost forgot. The 5C, if I remember correctly, the 16 gig model will be going for what was it, $199 on a 2-year contract, and the 32 gig is going for $299 on a 2-year contract. Now, unfortunately, I know there was rumors where they said 5C would be a cheaper model. Fortunately, it's not really cheaper as Apple led us to believe. Personally, for me, cheaper would be maybe $80 a month on contract, 80 to 100. But this is you're looking at $100 for the 16 gig and $300 for the 32 gig on a 2-year contract. Now, I live in South Africa, so if you take into consideration the exchange rate, rand-dollar exchange rate, it won't be such a cheap phone for myself. I might as well put in the extra couple $100 and get the actual 5S. I mean, unless there's a huge 2,000, 2,500 rand difference between the two models, I really don't see myself spilling out for the 5C. I really don't. It would be nice though, but yeah, that's one of those things. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of speculation, not speculation, there's been a lot of, if I can call it backlash, in social media during last week, saying that the 5C isn't really a cheaper phone to what Apple led us to believe. Also, the other things that Apple did confirm that they will be stopping production on all iPhones prior to the 5S. That includes the iPhone 5, which comes to us as a surprise to myself. I thought they would stop production from the 4S and back, so they'd still be producing the iPhone 5, iPhone 5S, and now the iPhone 5C. Unfortunately, they have confirmed that the iPhone 5, they will be stopping production, so they'll only be producing the iPhone 5S and the iPhone 5C, which I think is ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. There's still people out there that are still using the 3rd generation iPhone, the 3G, and the 3GS, and the 4, and the 4S. Essentially, what this is going to mean for you guys that are using those older phones is that when Apple officially stops making those phones, eventually, I don't think it'll happen straight away. Eventually, what will happen is they'll obviously, from when they stop producing it, they're going to stop pushing the iOS updates to it. So whatever version iOS you're running now, you'll probably be stuck with that. I don't think you'll be getting any upgrades for that. Also, after that, eventually what will happen is your apps will just stop working. The apps, when they start upgrading the apps to be compatible with iOS 7, I think apps that you got, if you're running iOS 6, apps that are compatible with iOS 6, I think will no longer be compatible with iOS 6. They'll be compatible from iOS 7 or 6.5 and up, somewhere there. I only know this from experience because it happened to me when I had my 3G. I was running iOS 4.2, and when I got it, the default Facebook app worked, the Twitter app, the original Twitter app worked, and a whole lot of other original apps. What happened was last year when Apple announced iOS 6, initially there was a big complaint because the apps hadn't been updated to fit the new 4-inch screen. When Apple started pushing the developers to update the apps so they can fit the full 4-inch screen, that pushed them out of iOS's 4.2 compatibility range. So the apps that were compatible on 4.2 after the update to fit the new 4-inch screen, they were no longer compatible from 4.2. They were compatible from 4.3 and up. So I ended up with an iPhone with a whole lot of apps that just didn't work. Which is why I eventually sold it and I got an Android phone, as you can see here. I thought I'd give an Android a test drive. This is a cheap entry level. I think I paid like $900 for this phone. Thought I'd give it a test run, see how it is, see if I liked having an Android over iPhone. Personally, I think I prefer having an iPhone, although iPhone is very rigid. You can't just plug it in and copy music across onto the phone. You have to sync it through iTunes. Whereas with an Android, you take it, you plug it into the computer. Your computer reads it or reads internal storage as a mass storage device, like a flash drive almost. And that allows you just to copy stuff to and from your phone onto the computer, from the computer to the phone. iPhone, you can't do that. It's not that easy. Be that as it may, I think I still prefer having an iPhone. I don't know, I haven't really had a chance to play around with the S4. There is an S4 mini actually that's come out. That's for another video. Yeah, so I think that's about going to do it for this week's video. If you're a new subscriber, thanks. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video, if you like the videos that are on the channel, if you like the channel in general, give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Leave a comment below this video and give me your thoughts on what you think of the new iPhone 5S and 5C. Pros, cons, let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe, like, favorite, share, all that good stuff. And I will see you in next week's video. Cheers.